let's get started with the legs crossed at the middle of the shins. Sit up straight and tall. I'd also like to just take a second right now to remind you, if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe, tell a friend or two, and hit like. That helps us out a lot. Okay, so with your legs crossed, sit up straight and tall and watch your breath. Watch the inhales and the exhales. Observe how the flow of the breath affects your body, your mind, the energetic flow in the body. So you can keep all of your focus, your awareness on your breath. Now, gently open your eyes and bring your hands to your side. Bring the fingertips aside, crawl them out to the side and broaden the chest. Now take your left arm up overhead and externally rotate the arm. Turn the outer arm forward. Now start to reach over to the side. So crawl your right fingertips. As you reach, I want you to ground your left inner buttock bone down to the mat, and now lift up and over to the side so you don't just crunch into your right side. So whenever you're doing side bend, you want to be lifting as you reach over instead of just sinking into the side. Breathe steady in and out through your nose. Again, watch your breath. So it's important for the health of the spine that we keep the lift instead of just sinking in yoga. You're rooting down to the hips, lifting over to the side. Inhale, come back up, take your right arm up. Lower your left fingertips. And now start to crawl your fingertips over to the side. And we're going to open up on the right side now. So as you create opening on the right side and open up that sheath, that layer on your right side, breathe deeply and evenly. But make sure you're not just collapsing onto the left side. You're lifting as you reach, and your right inner buttock bone is pressing, grounding into the mat or into the floor, whatever you're sitting on. Let the inner upper thighs relax. Draw your navel into your spine. Lift and reach over to the side. Turn the tricep towards your face. Good. Inhale, come back up. And bring your arms straight out in front of you. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms to face forward. As you inhale, take your arms up and overhead. Reach to the thumb index finger side of your hands. Now you're going to notice, Stacy does a great job of this, but for most of us, the front bottom ribs will start to pull way up. So instead of just your front bottom ribs lifting, I want you to hit the brakes on those. Hug your front bottom ribs back down towards your hips, and instead lift more with the side and the back ribs as you reach your hands. Move your elbows in and up. Reach. Inner buttock bones down. Relax the thighs. Now turn your palms to face each other. Keep reaching and reach all the way forward. When you forward bend, there's going to be a tendency to just round in your upper back. So instead, inhale, look up halfway. Squeeze in on your outer hips and draw your belly in, and then move your upper spine towards the floor. Like I came and just put my knee in your back and started to move it towards the floor. Lengthen more through the back of the skull. Continue to let the buttock bones descend. Okay, now walk your hands back towards you. Change the cross of your legs. Sit up tall again. Interlace your fingers. This time take the other index finger on top, turn the palms to face forward, and as you inhale, raise your arms up and overhead. So be even in the buttock bones. Lift more with the side and the back ribs. Press through the thumb, index finger side of your hand. Turn your palms to face each other, keep reaching, and then take all that length and reach forward. Reach past your mat. Inhale, look up, squeeze in your outer hips, belly in, and move your upper spine in as you reach forward. Squeezing your outer hips, that's an interesting thing. Someone brought that up to me this week. Is that a real thing? So that the action of firming your hips in will help to create bandha, will help to create a lift and a hug in feeling, which you want to feel around your low spine. But it's not like a real thing. You can't really firm your hips in. But the action of trying to do so creates a muscular action that we want in the postures. Then walk your hands back towards you. Now come onto the hands and the knees. Oh, actually, we're just going to do a toe stretch. So come onto your knees and curl your 10 toes under. Try to get your toes to curl under to your right to the toe mounts, to the balls of the toes. Now as you inhale, take your arms up, and we'll add an arm stretch, keeping the toes curled under like that. You're on your knees, knees together. Bend your right elbow like a Gomukhasana arm, and then just stretch the right arm. So bring your left hand to your right elbow and encourage the stretch of the arm. Now take the left arm from under and reach the fingertips towards each other. So Stacy's really flexible in her shoulders. You can see that elbow's like all the way back and she still has her ribs in. But if you can't get the fingertips to touch, that's okay. Don't force it. It's more important that you stay upright like you see Stacy doing. You see this upright spine as you stretch your arms. Start to stretch the fingers towards each other and open up the shoulders. Over time, keep practicing. It'll come. Release your arms. Take the arms back up. And same way we did on the other side, externally rotate the left arm and bend the elbow. Use your right hand to stretch the arm. And take your right arm from under. If you're feeling like your feet, like really feeling it right now, just stay with it unless you're feeling pain in your knees. If you feel some pain in your knees, come out and just do this with crossed legs. But otherwise, keep your toes curled on. It's a really good stretch for your feet. Breathe steady in and out through your nose. Roll the tip of your right shoulder back. Draw your ribs back in and stretch your left elbow higher. Neck long, reach up to the top of your head. Watch your breath. Watch your inhales and your exhales. Good. Release your arms. Reach both arms back up. Stretch. Feel the opening in the shoulders. Then bring your hands onto the mat. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Take your knees just slightly behind or right underneath your hips. So hands under the shoulders, knees under your hips. Oh, now let's start to hug the outer ankles in towards each other. So like squeeze your ankles till the inner ankle bone touches and stretch back to your toes, and then slowly start to sit your butt back towards your heels. So this is a good ankle stretch, stretching out the feet and the ankles. As you sit your butt back, keep hugging the ankles in and then take your arms up overhead. Don't let your ankles push back out. Keep them hugged in, keep stretching back to your toes. Okay, now come onto the hands and the knees. Curl your toes under, lift your knees up, and press back to downward facing dog. So as you hold in down dog, root into your toe mounds, just like when your toes were curled under. Lift up through the arches of the feet, the inner arches, and now squeeze those outer ankles in, just like you practice with your feet. Inhale into plank position. Now come into plank on your forearms. So you got some education into what your feet do in a lot of these poses when you're on your hands and your feet. So same thing in plank. Root into the toe mound, stretch the toes forward. Hug the ankles in as you lift your belly and move your heart forward. Now lower your hips down to the floor and come into Sphinx Pose. So again, same stretch with your feet, just like when the feet were pointed back and you're trying to hug the ankles in. So reach back to your big toes. Internally rotate your thighs. Roll the inner thighs up, outer thighs down, and now squeeze your ankles in, lift up your belly, and move your chest forward and up. Now lift the feet an inch up off the mat without your belly sinking, and slide your hands back into Chaturanga position, so the wrists underneath the elbows. Press the feet down, roll your chest forward and up. Keep your shoulder blades on your back. They're going to try to round up towards your head. Keep them pulled in. Good, downward facing dog. So just real basic, look at your dog. Your hands should be shoulder width apart. Shift forward slightly and work on the external rotation of your arms. So if you're in end range, if you're in the deepest dog you can go into, it's almost impossible to get your arms to rotate. So move your chest forward a little bit like you're coming halfway into plank, and then turn your arms. Then try to move back into your deep dog, maintaining the external rotation and the width of the shoulder blades on your back. Broaden the blades. Now look in between the hands. Step one foot forward and then the other. As you inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, create a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Let your head drop. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Samastiti. So now that you have that new opening awareness in your feet, just feel the soles of the feet open. Root down into your heels and toe mounds evenly. Lift up through your inner arches and hug your outer ankles in. Spin your inner upper thighs back and firm the middle buttock in as the navel draws in. Lift your sternum and inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, create a flat back, get length. Exhale, step back to plank position, one leg and then the other. Shift forward and lower to Chaturanga, armpit squeeze in. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hands go shoulder width apart, feet go hip width. Instead of thinking about pressing the heels firmly towards the floor, I want you to lift up through the inner arches and move the outer ankles in and up. So create a lift up through your legs. And now move the hip bones further from your wrists as you press firmly into the mat. Look in between your hands. Step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, take all that length and fold deep, head drops towards your toes. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, Samastiti. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, stretch back through your toes, up dog, squeeze those ankles in as you lift your belly, lift your sternum. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe steady. Watch the inhales and the exhales. Watch how your body is responding to the salutations. So a big portion of the practice is observation. The longer you practice, the more keen the observation becomes of the body, the movements of the body, the breath. Look in between the hands. Step or jump lightly forward. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Take all that length and fold deep. Press down into your feet, especially the heels. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, get a flat back, lengthen. Step or float back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold and down dog. So if you're looking for any of the ideals of the posture, Stacy is a great person to look at. If you're wondering, how should my Chaturanga look? How should my dog look? Take a moment. You can always pause the video and look at these positions if you're newer to the flow. Seek to find a similar position to what you're seeing Stacy demonstrate. Look in between your hands. Step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, get length and create a flat back. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, hips come forward over the heels. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up, but keep your thighs back so your hips are over your ankles. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, step back or jump and lower to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shoulder blades press in, shoulder tips move back. Exhale, downward facing dog. So now in this dog, keep that idea of lifting up through the legs, the arches, the outer ankles, but now press your shins and your thigh bones back without locking the knee joint. As you press back, keep the hands rooted and keep the forearm bones lifted away from the mat. Let the head drop. Now look in between your hands. Step or float forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Now from down dog, bring your right knee up towards your chest without your hips twisting, and then shift forward into plank pose. So round your back like when you do cat-cow. Press the floor down with your hands. Now lift your foot up higher and step it all the way. Try not to let the hips swing to side. Step your back foot a little bit closer and turn the heel down. Adjust the feet heel to arch. And now come up into warrior two. So your feet should line up heel to arch. Your right foot points straight ahead. The second toe points straight ahead. Your knee tracks right in line with your second toe. So look down at your right knee, press it open. Squeeze your right hip in, so your center right hip is in line with the knee, in line with the second toe. So you have the front leg set up, and as you push into your back heel, lift up on the inner arch, lift up through the leg, and bend your right leg a little bit deeper. Now straighten your right leg. Place your hands on your hips. Look down at your right thigh. Turn the thigh again so the knee points straight ahead over the second toe. Spread your arms out. And as you exhale, reach out over your right leg, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So for triangle pose, you can use a block. Stacy likes to use a block under the hand on the fingertips so that she can get the length through the body, through the spine, so it's not collapsing. Just like when you're working your side bend, we're focusing on lengthening and pulling length. So similar to that side bend, except that you're not actually side bending in this pose. Press strong into your back heel and then lengthen from your tailbone to your crown. Look at your right foot again. Press into the inner foot. Turn the inner thigh forward so that the knee points straight ahead and squeeze your right hip in. Now rebend your right leg, warrior two. Breathe steady in and out through the nose. Broaden the chest through the reach of the arms. Energize the stretch of the arms, and as you keep your back heel anchored, see if you could bend your right leg so that the knee goes right over top of the ankle. Reverse warrior. Reach your right arm up. Come back to warrior two. Circle your hands to the mat. Step back to plank position. Lower to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. From down dog, bring your left knee up to your chest. Shift forward so the shoulders come over the wrist and plank. Pull the knee up high, round your back, lift up. Then without swinging, step your foot all the way up in between your hands. Turn your back heel on its side. Line up the feet, heel to arch. Then as you inhale, come up for warrior two. So with the feet lined up, heel to arch, your right foot, your back foot's angled in slightly. Press your left knee open so it's tracking right in line with your second, third toe. Right in that center line of the foot. Squeeze the left hip in and grow tall through the sides of your waist. Broaden your chest through the reach of your arms. So feel the top chest start to spread. Feel your shoulder blades drop down and away from each other, and it's like they broaden through the reach of the pinky fingers. Collarbones broaden through the reach of the index fingers. Reach past your fingers. Even feel the deltoid lengthen, the top shoulder muscle lengthen through the fingers. The more you stretch your arms, keep moving the front bottom ribs down and in towards each other. In and down. Good, now straighten your left leg. Look down at your left knee. Turn the thigh out so the knee points straight ahead, out in line with the second toe again. Then spread the arms out. Don't lose the turn of the leg. Reach out over your leg. So keep pressing into your feet as you reach. Create the lift up through the legs. Feel the lift up through the legs help you to elongate the spine through both sides. Feel your chest open through the reach of your arms. Good. So as you press into your back heel, feel your spine lengthen from your tailbone all the way to the top of your head. And as you press into your inner left foot, squeeze your left outer hip in and roll the chest open. Feel those muscles on your left outer hip engage. Hip squeeze for the stability. Now bend your left knee, come back to warrior two. Adjust your warrior. Knee bends right over the ankle. See if you can sit that left thigh all the way down so the knee is right over the ankle. But don't go past it. Now hold there. Keep a lift on your back inner arch. Move the outer ankle in and up. It's the same foot we were practicing from the beginning of class. Steady your breath. Balance the length of the inhalation with the length of the exhalation. See if you can bend your left leg a little bit deeper now. Turn your left palm up and reverse your warrior. Now when you're side bending, remember you don't just want to sink. Lift up and over. Feel the left side start to open. Good. Come back to warrior two. Circle your hands to the mat. And step back to plank position. Shift forward and lower to Chaturanga. Ribs in. Lift up to upward facing dog. Roll the chest forward and up. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Ardha Gomukhasana. Spin the inner thighs back. Engage the backs of the legs. Squeeze. Good. Now step your right foot in the middle of your hands. Spin your back foot flat again. If you're using a block, put it on the inside of your foot and put your fingertips on that block on the inside of your foot. We're going to come into modified side angle now. So modified side angle, there's a tendency for your chest to fall way forward. So try not to let that happen. Squeeze your right hip in so it's in that second toe line. And then as you press into your back heel, lean your chest, upper body back into the line of your inner knee. Internally rotate your left arm and take it behind your back. Put your hand right on your outer hip like you see Stacy doing. Right where your hand is, right on your outer hip, squeeze in there. Now stay there, or if you want to do a full bind, you could do that. But again, there's that tendency for your chest to lean way forward, so that's not allowed to happen. Squeeze your right butt in and lean your chest back into the line of your right big toe, your right knee, into the line of your back ankle. Push into your back heel, move your head back into that line, but don't let your middle push way out. Move the ribs back in. Roll the left shoulder tip back. Good. Now keep your left arm behind your back. Put your right hand down on the inside of your foot again. From here, we're going to go into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So if you're using the block, slide the block of foot in front of your pinky toe and step up to balance. Just keep your left arm behind your back so you can keep reminding the right hip to firm. So once you get up, press down even into your right foot. Start to hug your right hip in. Lengthen from your back heel to your crown. Now roll the left shoulder tip back, open your chest, and once you're steady, take the left arm up. So there's the tendency to just sink into your low back here. So try to lengthen through your low back. Good. Keep the ribs in as you stretch your arms, just like in Vira 2. The more you start to open your chest and spread the arms, the more the floating ribs are going to start to lift and spread. So instead, pull the floating ribs in and down, start to stretch the arms more. Now bend your right knee, and as smooth as you can, step back into triangle pose, Untitled Chapter. Rebend your right leg, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, reach your arm up. Bring your hands back to the mat and step back. Take a vinyasa or just step right back to downward facing dog, your call. So if you're newer to the practice, what's a vinyasa? Vinyasa just means chaturanga, up dog, down dog. So from down dog, now step your left foot right in the middle of your hands. Spin your back heel flat onto the mat. Put your left fingertips on the inside of your foot. Use the block or use the floor. So with the block, it's not just like flexibility. Don't think of it as like, oh, I'm not as good of a yoga student if I have to use a block. It might just be your proportions. So my proportions are such that I prefer to use a block to get the proper opening. You see that Stacy is extremely flexible. She prefers to use the block for the proportions of her body. So a block is not a bad thing to be using in your yoga practice while you search for the opening, the space. So squeeze your left hip in, internally rotate your right arm, roll your shoulder back, and take the hand behind your back. Feel it right on your outer left hip. Hug the left hip in as you press the knee open. Stay there or go for the full bind. Squeeze in on your left hip and feel your whole upper body lean back into the line of your back ankle. Your outer ankle, like right underneath where the heel or where the ankle, if the ankle were to drop towards the heel, right that line, that's like the brain of the pose. You want to start to align your body with that back ankle. So your left hip hugs in, you lean back, and you feel a line from that back ankle to your crown. So now release your left arm if it was bound. Slide your block a foot in front of your foot and foot in front of your pinky toe if you're using a block, otherwise just fingertips down. And then step up to balance into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So first, get your stability. Press firmly and evenly into your left foot. Lift up through the inner arch, lift on the outer ankle, and squeeze the left hip in so it stacks over the ankle. Now push through your back heel, lengthen through both sides of your low back. Take your arm up and start to open up your chest. Collarbone spread through the index, shoulders through the pinkies, neck long, back leg stretching strong. Right leg push through the heel. Bend the left leg and as smooth as you can, take a big step back into triangle pose. Find your triangle. Bend your left leg, come into warrior two. Find warrior two, steady your breath. So you feel you have a lot of heat in your body building. Try to remain calm. Allow the steadiness of the breath to help that energy to flow, balance through your body. All that extra heat and prana that you feel flowing through you now, allow it to be integrated into your body. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Exhale back to warrior two. Now straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes in so your feet are parallel. Interlace your hands behind your back and roll your shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward in between your legs. Prasarita Padottanasana C, or 3, depending on the style of yoga that you're studying. So while you're in this pose, consider the work of the feet. There's a lift through the inner arches of the feet. The outer ankles hug in and up. Lift up all the way through your legs. Spin your groins back, your inner upper thighs back, and now firm your outer hips in. So you feel that firming in effect, what it does to your middle. Let your head drop. Now press into your feet. Come back up to stand. And bring your hands to the mat now. And step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold in down dog for a couple breaths. So you just did a lot of standing poses. Feel the difference from side to side. Allow your body to start to balance out if it feels any difference. Then jump to the front of your mat or step. Inhale, create a flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, take all the length and fold deeply. Press to stand. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Standing steadily, standing with a state of balance between right and left, front and back. Alright, now bring the weight over into your left foot and bring your right knee up towards your chest. As you bring your right knee up, look up at the screen and notice that you try not to lose Tadasana. So Stacy stays in Tadasana, just the right leg comes up. Now, if you want to advance the pose, take the big toe out in front of you, but do not lose Tadasana. Keep the left thigh back, keep your plumb line. Your hips are stacked over your ankle, your shoulders over your hips, your head over your shoulders. So if you feel yourself losing Tadasana, it's more important to have Tadasana. So if the right leg can't go all the way straight, that's fine. Start to open up the leg to the side, but don't let your hips twist. Keep the hip bones straight ahead. Maintain Tadasana. Press into the left heel. Take the inner left thigh back. Lift up tall through the crown of your head. Bring your leg back to center. Keep the leg up. Take your arms up. Now hold the leg straight out in front of you. Don't lose Tadasana. What's going to want to happen is your knee is going to want to bend, your butt's going to want to tuck under. Try not to let it happen. Alright, now release the leg. Bring your arms back to your side. So Tadasana, if you're wondering what's Tadasana, mountain pose. Standing with the plumb line, standing up straight. So now bring the weight into your right foot and bring your left knee up to your chest. Stand up tall. Reach onto the inside of your foot and take your big toe if you did it on the other side. Straighten the leg, take the big toe out in front of you, reach through the big toe mound, draw the leg into the socket, and stand tall. So first, find your posture again. Find your Tadasana, find your mountain pose. Steady the breath. Breathe length into the leg. Now without twisting your hips, keep your hip bones facing straight ahead. Start to open up your leg to the left. Stay rooted evenly into the right foot. Keep the right thigh bone moving back. And now lift up through all four sides of your waist. Lift up through your crown. Slowly bring your left leg back to center. Hold the leg up. Release it. Take your arms up. Try not to let it drop. Keep the leg up. Good. Lower your left leg to meet your right. Reach your arms, and as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Good. Now come into crow pose. So in crow pose, hook your knees way up high in your arms. See if you can start to straighten your arms, and then step or jump back to Chaturanga. Move it through Vinyasa, or just go straight back to down dog. Hold in your down dog. Take a couple of breaths. Now step your right foot close to your right thumb and adjust your back foot like a warrior one back foot. Step a little bit closer. Now float your arms back behind you and lean your chest out over your knee. So your feet are lined up heel to heel. The back foot is angled in a little more than halfway, like 60 degrees. Shoulder blades on your back, neck long. Now take your arms forward. Don't let your belly drop. And come all the way up, 0-1, warrior one. Press firmly into your outer heel on your back foot. Lift up on the inner arch. Move the outer ankle in and up. And from all that, lift up through the arch of the foot. Lift up through the leg. Lift up out of the low back. Lift the pubic bone. Lift up with your arms. And now start to bend deeper into the front of your right heel. Good. Now bring the hands to the hips and step your back foot a little bit closer. Take your hands into reverse prayer, or if that's too challenging, reverse prayer, you can just press your knuckles together in your upper back. Inhale, roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward halfway. Hold there halfway. Reach your inner buttock bones back. Squeeze your outer hips in so your belly lifts. And now lengthen. Move your upper spine in right where your hands are. You can feel it wanting to round into your hands. Try not to let it. So now start to fold forward, but right where your hands are, keep lengthening your spine. It's going to want to just push back into your hands. So you are going into forward flexion. You are rounding your back, but you want to keep the idea of extension the whole time, like the spine is lengthening towards the foot instead of bending away from the floor. Stay pressed even into the feet. Keep the right hip hugged in. Now put your fingertips on the floor and inhale, create a flat back. Adjust your back foot again for warrior one. And inhale, come back up, warrior one. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So as always, if you need to skip the vinyasas, you are welcome just to step back to down dog. You don't have to do all the vinyasas. From down dog, step your left foot all the way up to your left thumb. Step your back foot an inch closer and position the feet heel to heel, back foot angled in. Now squeeze your left hip in so it's in the line of your ankle. Make a flat back and float your arms back behind you. Try to make a long line from your back ankle all the way to the crown of your head. Shoulder blades on your back, broaden your top chest. Keep that left hip hugged in. It's going to want to push out. Start to bend a little bit deeper into the front of your left heel, but keep the back leg strong. Now send your arms forward, don't let your belly drop. Now lift your belly and come all the way up, warrior one. Good, now remember, don't just sink into it. Push firm into the back heel, lift up through the arches, all the way up, lift the pubic bone. Lift your side chest, reach with your arms. Now bend your left leg a little bit deeper so the knee comes over the ankle. There it is. Get the weight right in the front of your heel. Keep stretching your arms. Good. Now bring your hands to your hips. Step your back foot a few inches closer. So your feet are about one of your legs distance apart, however long one of your legs is. Straighten the left leg. Bring your hands into reverse prayer, or just press the knuckles together in your upper back, Paschimma Namaskarasana, or just knuckles together. Roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward halfway. Pause there. See if you can create a flat back. It's very challenging. You'll feel the hamstrings pull. So I want you to push firmly and evenly into your feet. Lift up through the arches. Spin the upper inner thighs back. Inner buttock bones reach back. And now pull your belly up and move your heart forward. Keep lengthening as you fold. Start to bring your head towards the floor, towards your shin, chin towards your shin. But as you fold forward, keep the idea of lengthening the upper spine the whole time. Outer left hip in, navel draws in, chin to the shin. Good. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Inhale, create a flat back and adjust your back foot. Slide it back a bit for warrior one. Bend the knee. And inhale, raise the arms up and overhead. Vira one, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands back. Step back to plank position. Take a vinyasa or just press straight back to down dog. Now look in between your hands and step or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees and sit back. Draw the weight back into the front of the heels. Release the tops of the thighs down. Draw your belly in and up. And now lengthen more with the side and the back ribs as you stretch your arms. Now sit deep into that chair. Feel the backs of the legs and the glutes engage, not just the fronts of the thighs. Good. Now press to stand. Bring the hands to the heart. Samastiti. Take a deep breath. Find your center. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees and sit back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, create a flat back, lengthen out. Step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Stretch your toes, open your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale your arms up. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Just one breath. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your dog pose. Breathe steady in and out through your nose. Moving through the B salutations. Hold in your dog. Press your thigh bones back. Feel the outer arms start to hug in. Keep the upper back broad. Now keep the outer arms firm. Bend your knees. Look where you're going. Step or jump all the way up to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees. Sit deep into chair. Press to stand. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, chair pose. Surya Namaskar B. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your dog. Feel the heat building in your body. Balance the breath. Balance the energy flow by observing a steady, even breath. Look in between your hands. Step or jump forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, sit back. Press to stand. Samastiti. One more time. Ekam, inhale, chair. Way, exhale, fold forward. Trini, inhale, head up. Chatori, exhale, Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale. Shot, exhale. Sapta, step your right leg and inhale, arms up. Ashto, exhale. Nawa, inhale, up dog. Desha, exhale, down dog. Ekadasha, left leg steps. Inhale. Dwadasha, exhale. Triodasha, inhale. Chaturdasha, exhale. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now from here, step your right foot for Crescent. Right foot comes close to the thumb. Stay up on the back toes. Inhale, reach your arms up. Crescent pose. Keep your middle in. Control your ribs. Okay, now let's take Gomukhasana. So bend the left elbow, reach back behind you, take the right arm from under. Same pose we did seated at the beginning of class. The left elbow's up, the right hand is behind you. So keep these Gomukhasana arms, just lean your chest out over your knee. Don't let your upper back round. Engage your middle, upper spine in, neck long. Squeeze the right hip in. Now stay here for 5 breaths. Or with your right hip squeezed in, step up and balance into Warrior 3. Lift the left leg up from the inner thigh. Now your hips are going to want to open to the left. So turn your hips towards the floor. Nice. Now keeping the hips aimed towards the floor, pull up your belly and move your heart forward. Don't let that left elbow drop. Lift the left elbow, straighten out your back knee. Keep your right hip hugged in right over your ankle. Try to make your whole body parallel to the floor. Now see if you can start to lean your chest forward and move into standing splits with your arms still bound. Good. Then fingertips to the floor, standing splits. Lift the left leg up high from the inner thigh. Let your head drop. Keep lifting the left leg up. Keep the outer right hip pinned in. Good. Now stay there or practice your handstand. Plant your hands and with kicking up one leg at a time, practice going up in a handstand. Okay. Lower your leg and make your way back to downward facing dog through Vinyasa or not. From down dog, step your left foot to your left thumb. Come up onto your fingertips. Hug your left hip in and come up for Crescent. So Crescent like Warrior 1 except your back heel is up. Lift up on your back inner knee. Lift your pubic bone up towards your navel. Lift with your arms and bend deeper into the front of your left heel. From Crescent, take Gomukhasana arms. So bend your right elbow, reach your hand back behind you, take your left arm from under, and bind your fingers if you can, otherwise just stretch the fingertips towards each other as discussed earlier, and lean your chest out over your knee. Fire your back leg, energize the back leg, hug the left hip in, pull the elbow forward. Try to make a Tadasana line from your back heel to your crown. Now keep that line, keep your left hip hugged in as you step up to balance. Lean your chest forward. Try to make your whole body parallel to the floor. So find the Tadasana line again, the mountain pose line from your back heel to the top of your head. Back knee is straight. You're even on your left foot and your left hip is hugged in. Now from here, start to lean your chest forward. See if you can go into the standing splits with your arms still bound. It's very tricky. Good, then lower your fingertips and take your right leg up from the inner thigh. Standing splits. Now just stay and work on your standing splits for 5 more breaths, or if you're practicing handstands, put your hands down and practice your handstands. Do a couple of kicks, maybe you can practice balancing. Please use a wall if you're newer to handstand and just work on keeping the legs at the wall. You don't want to work on balancing if you're new. Try to just work on it at the wall for a few months before you start to practice balancing. Okay. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Now make your way back, step or jump back. Take a Vinyasa, or just go right back to down dog. Hold in your down dog. Steady your breath. Look in between your hands. Jump or step to the front of your mat. And inhale, get a flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Bring the weight over into your left foot. Bring your right knee up towards your chest. So just like we did after the standing externals, we did some balancings where you can do some standing neutrals and twist. So now take your right big toe straight out in front of you. So remember, if you cannot maintain Tadasana with the big toe out in front of you, better just hold the knee. Now from here, change hands and twist. Keep your hip bones straight ahead. Without the hips twisting, turn your chest and take your right arm back. Find Tadasana again. Push evenly into your left foot. Take your left inner thigh back, lift your belly, lift your side chest, and turn your ribs chest. Look back, look forward, and take your arms up. Try to hold the right leg up. Now lower the right leg to meet the left and sit back into chair pose. Lean your chest right out over your knees, hands in prayer, now twist. As you twist in chair, try not to let the hips twist. So even out the knees again, bring the left knee back into alignment with the right, and lengthen as you twist. So you're not just sinking into your disc. Lengthen the spine to create health for the twist. A few more breaths here. Come back to chair pose. Arms go up, butt stays low. Press to stand. Bring your hands to your heart. Good. Other side. So thighs back, like Tadasana. Bring the weight into your right foot, and without the hips twisting, bring your left knee up to your chest. Stay there with the left knee at the chest, or take the big toe straight out in front of you. Remember, it's more important to hold Tadasana. I know I say that repetitively, but very important. Maintain the Tadasana alignment. If the left leg can go straight, that's cool. If not, Tadasana alignment more important. So with the left hand on the knee or the big toe, lift your chest, stand tall. Now without twisting the hips, change hands and twist to your left. Take your left arm back. Now grow tall from your heel to the crown of your head. Find your Tadasana line. Then turn your ribs and your chest more, but not the hips. Keep the hips straight ahead. Good, now look forward, take your arms out, and take your left leg straight out in front of you. Hold it up there. Hold, push through the heel. Good, lower your left leg to meet your right. Sit back into chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Lean your chest out over your knees. And twist to your left. Take your right elbow to the outside of your knee. Lengthen as you twist. The length is more important so that you're not overloading your discs. If you think about like when your back gets thrown out, it's usually from like twisting in a round back position. You come up too quick, you throw your back out. So whenever we're twisting in yoga, we're thinking of lengthening so that we can strengthen the muscles of the spine to support the discs so that we have a healthy back. So continue to lengthen your spine as you twist. Come back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Energize your arms. See if you can hold that chair. And fold forward. Good. Inhale, create a flat back. Lengthen your spine. Step or jump back. Take a vinyasa or just go right back to dog. Now from dog pose, shift forward into plank, lower to Chaturanga, hold there, and then lower to your belly. Come back to Sphinx Pose. So find your Sphinx Pose. Reach back through your big toes. Tighten your inner kneecaps. Lift your inner knees. Lift your inner thighs. Spin them up towards the ceiling. But then lift the skin of the low abdominals up off the mat so you're not sinking in your low back. Press your shoulder blades in to open your chest. Now try not to let your hips twist. Bend your right knee and reach back with your right hand to the inside of your foot. So there's a tendency for your right hip to lift way up. So instead, Stacy keeps her right hip down. And then there's this advanced variation, Ardha, the frog pose, or the half frog pose, where you can turn your hand and push your foot like you see Stacy doing. If that's too much, just reach back for the inside of your foot. That's fine. Whichever one you're doing, try to press your shoulder blades in and lift up evenly on both sides of your chest. Now release your foot. Change legs. So energize through the legs at first. Lift your belly. Bend your left leg. Reach back with your left hand on the inside of your foot. So this is fine. You can just stay here for 5 breaths with your hand on the inside of the foot, rolling the chest open. Or you can take the variation where you bend the elbow up, turn the hand on the foot, and push the foot towards the outer buttock. Whichever one you do, the back leg is still reaching strong, like an up dog leg. The inner knee is tight. The inner thigh spins up. Your middle buttock firms in as you draw your navel up and lift your side chest. Press your shoulder blades in. All 4 sides of the neck long. Good. Now release that foot without slingshotting. Steady. Come back to Sphinx Pose. Good. Now lay down. Put your forehead on your hands. Just rest for a few breaths. Now place your hands into a Chaturanga position. So that means hands like right underneath the elbows at the side ribs. Start to turn your triceps in towards each other. Come into baby Cobra. Turn your triceps in towards each other. Now lift the legs up an inch. Now stretch the arms back. Keep that rotation of the arms though. Try not to let your triceps turn out. Turn them towards each other. Lift the shoulder tips away from the floor. Notice if your belly's falling. Turn the inner thighs up. Lift your belly. Now bend both knees and reach back for your ankles. Good. As you hold your ankles, see if you can lift up with the big toes, the shins higher to the ceiling, and now move the shins back to open your chest. Just like in that last pose, press the blades in, lift up both sides of your chest, roll the outer hips down, lift your belly and lift your chest. Good, now come back to Shalabhasana, but this time with the arms forward. Stretch back through your toes. Try not to sink in your low back, keep your belly up. Good. Now hands next to your side ribs. Press into up dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Upward facing dog. Press the blades in now. Your deepest expression of up dog. Turn the triceps towards each other, just like you're practicing on your belly. And move back to downward facing dog. Steady your breath as you hold in down dog. Now jump to seated. Lie on the back. Take a breath or two. Now press your heels down and lift your hips up for bridge pose. Press down into your inner heels. Lift up on your outer hips. Now interlace the fingers. Turn the triceps towards each other again, like you were practicing on your belly. And as you press your outer arms heavy into the mat, feel your shoulder blades plug in so your chest opens. The neck is long. Good. Lower the hips back down. Take a breath. Good. So one more time, do bridge pose or finish with Ardha Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. Lift up onto your head. Hug your elbows in towards each other. Move the arm bones in. And as you press into your hands, straighten your elbows. Move your chest back. And move your hips towards your knees, towards your feet. So it's like the chest and the buttock are moving in two different directions. So you get length through your low back. Breathe steady. Good. Now lower back down. Take a deep breath. Let your back start to release. Oh, don't do that just yet. We're going to do one more. Bridge or Ardha Dhanurasana. Go up. 5 breaths. Press even into the hands and the feet. Effort towards neutral in the thighs. Roll the inner upper thighs down. Firm your outer hips in. Good. Lower back down. Take a breath or two. Okay, now gently bring your knees into your chest. Allow the back to start to release. Now lift your chest up to your knees and send your arms forward. So one nice way to release your back after back bends with ab work. Keep your belly pulled in, send your left leg forward, take your right leg straight up. Bring your hands up and over to the outside of your leg. Keep your shoulders out of your ears, your neck long. Try to keep your sacrum even on the mat as you're twisting up and over to the side here. So don't just fall over to the right side. Keep the left side down too. Hold there, legs as straight as you can, belly in. Now bring your arms back to center, keep the legs as they are. Lower the right leg to meet the left, hold your belly in. Bring the left leg up. Bring your hands up and over the outside of your left leg and hold, neck long, shoulders out of your ears. Squeeze, pretend like you could pull your side ribs. Pull your side ribs in and down towards your hips. Narrow in your waist, draw lean in your abs, squeeze in and lift up another inch and hold. Then come back to center, hands on either side of the leg, stay up. Lower the left leg to meet the right and hold your abs in. Lift your chest up another inch. Now bring the legs straight up, stay up. Bring your hands behind your head, lower your head down. Now lift your chest back up to your knees, hold there, and try to lift your tailbone up off the mat without the feet coming closer to you. Keep the tailbone up, squeeze your low abs in. This one's really hard. Keep the low back, press the low back into the mat, lift your tail and hold. Good, now hug your knees into your chest, relax. Take happy baby, reach onto the insides of your knees. Grab a hold of the outsides of your feet. Feel the back start to spread and release. Now set your feet on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. And hug your left knee in towards your chest. So ankle to knee pose, hip stretch. Let your hips start to release. As you hold this pose, let the shoulders drop back down. Let the butt start to hang towards the floor. Let it drop back down. Good, now change sides. Cross your left ankle over your right knee and hold. Relax the shoulders. Relax your neck. Now release the legs. Stretch the legs out one at a time for Savasana, corpse pose.